welcome to Medicine for the Soul Yoga. My name's Kat and this is part 28 of our Journey to Crow Pose series. So today we're going to be working on what we started last time, which was transitioning from crow pose to tripod headstand and then experimenting lifting the head back up into crow pose. It's a challenging pose, so we'll have a little play with that and then we'll do some real core work exercises and some balance point exercises that will help get you there. So let's get started. So we're going to start in tabletop today. We're going to lift up all 10 fingers, spread them out as much as you can, so really active hands, and then place them back down. And then we're going to slightly lift up the knuckles of the fingers. So we're really gripping the mat, and we're really working in building strength in the hands. We'll look forward, lengthen the neck, and slightly push out of the hands. And feel where the weight is distributing in the hands. So feeling into all 4 corners of the palm of the hand and also into all 10 fingertips. So really grounding down, feeling really strong in your tabletop, almost as if you were pushing up against someone who was sitting on your back. Breathing deeply through the nose and allow the breath to land right into the tummy. Good. We're going to start to rock forward and back. Breathing deeply and making the movement slightly bigger. So maybe coming all the way back to the heels, maybe coming slightly forward over the shoulders. Keeping that connection with the breath. Big deep breath through the nose. And then next time we come forward, we'll just pause here and notice how the core begins to wake up a bit. So we're kind of coming into supported plank. We're squeezing in the core. We're going to come a little bit forward over the wrists and we're going to walk the hands, one hand forward and then the other hand forward, and then dip the hips down even more. So we're in our supported plank. We're squeezing the belly button into the spine. Big deep breaths here. And then we're going to do the same again. So exhale, we come back. A bit further this time, maybe forehead onto mat. Inhale, forward, supported plank. Make sure you're not collapsing into it. We're keeping really active, squeezing in the core. Exhale, back. Inhale, roll forward. Look up. Exhale, back. So just keep flowing with the breath. You can close your eyes. Keep the neck long as you come forward. Good. This time as we exhale and come back, we're going to tuck the toes. Exhale and come back. And when we inhale and come forward, we're going to lift up the knees and come into full plank. Push up through the hands round the top of the shoulders. And then exhale, knees down. Come back to child's pose. Inhale, roll forward, lift the knees up. Lengthen. And exhale, knees down and push back. Good. Inhale, roll forward, lift the knees up. And exhale, gently come back. This time, inhale, come forward, full high plank. When we exhale and come back, we're going to try and keep the knees hovering. So we're going to exhale and hover back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, come back. Hover the knees a few inches off the mat. Feel the quads and the core working. Inhale, come forward, lengthen the back of the neck. Exhale, come back, really good. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, forward last time. Exhale, back, hold for a moment. Bring the knees out wide, toes together, and sink the hips back and release the forehead onto the mat. And take a few big, deep belly breaths in and out through the nose here. Feeling the heart rate. Feeling the breath landing down into the tummy. Good, and then we'll roll ourselves up, bring the knees in, and we'll take a few cat-cows to walk, loosen up the spine. So walk your hands in underneath the shoulders. Inhale, roll up, lift the chin. Exhale, rounding the back, curling in the chin to the chest. Inhale, roll and arch the back. Good. Exhale, rounding. The movement starts from the pelvis. And I invite you to bring some fluid movement into this cat-cow, so kind of any way that feels good for you. So maybe rolling the chest, the shoulders, the hips side to side. Good. And then we'll tuck the toes and we'll find our way to downward facing dog. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Pedal out the heels, spread the fingers. Big deep breath through the nose. Good. Finding stillness in our downward facing dog. We're going to inhale, look forward, bend the legs, and then we're going to hop forward to the hands. So remember, we've done this before. We keep the chest lifting and we keep the weight in the hands, and we land really lightly with the feet. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, bend the legs forward, fold. Hands on either side of the elbows, and we can gently sway side to side. Big deep breath through the nose. And then we'll release the arms and slowly roll up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then big shoulder roll at the top. Standing tall in our mountain pose, palms of the hand facing forward. Breathing deeply through the nose. Feel the breath landing in the tummy. Big inhale, reaching the arms above the head. Exhale, forward fold, bend the legs. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands. We're going to hop back to plank. We're going to take our vinyasa. First of all, drop the knees. Chest and chin, elbows hug in. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, back to downward dog. Good. Inhale, look forward. We're going to hop forward. So we're going to really bring the heart rate up for a little moment. Hop. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And we'll go again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Flow with the breath. Exhale, plant the hands. This time either hop back to full plank or hop back to chaturanga, half plank. And straight into your vinyasa. Use the knees if you need to. If you can keep the knees lifted, do. Into our upward dog or cobra. And then pushing back to downward facing dog. Good. Coiling back the legs, look forward again, hop. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to do it one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, bend the legs, plant the hands. We hop back to our vinyasa. Inhale, come up. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, and we hop forward. Good. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, roll really slowly up the back. And a big, nice shoulder roll at the top. Separate the legs out wide as the mat. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up. As we exhale, we're going to bring the left hand to the right ankle. Right hand up, look up at the right hand. Inhale up. Exhale, right hand to left ankle. Inhale up. Exhale, left hand. You can almost grip behind the ankle or the leg. Inhale up. Exhale, left hand. Inhale up. Good. And then exhale, bring the hands down. And then we'll just sway side to side, releasing out any tension in the upper body. Good. Perfect. Rolling with the shoulders. We're going to do a little standing balance. This is a great one for opening out the hips as well as working with our balance and confidence. So we're going to come into eagle. So we're going to step on our left foot, bring the right leg over the left and bend the leg. Maybe we can tuck the right foot behind. Focus on the breath. Option to keep the arms like this, or option to bring the left arm underneath the right and bring the palms of the hands together. Sink the hips down. You can feel it in the glutes here and the outside of the hips. Good. Inhale, we'll come to standing. We're going to lift the right leg up And we're going to open the hips out to the side and come to tree pose. Hold on to the right ankle and then placing the right heel, really dig it into the top of the left thigh, finding stillness. Focus on opening the hip. Palms together, or maybe they come above the head. Focus on one thing that's not moving. And then bring the palms down, bring the foot down. Big inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, hop back, low plank. Inhale, upward dog, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, back to downward dog, really good. Inhale, look forward, we're gonna hop forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bring the palms down. And this time we'll bring the left leg over the right and sink down the hips. This left foot can stay out to the side, or maybe we can tuck it behind the back of that right foot. Sink the hips. Focus. Then we bring the right arm underneath. Join either the back of the palms together or the full twist with the palms of the hands together. Lift the elbows up, open the shoulders, sink the hips. Breathe. Don't worry if you wobble. Good. Inhale, unravel the arms. Lift the arms up and the left knee. And then we'll come into tree pose on the other side. Open out the hip. Join the palms together. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Big deep breath through the nose. Good, and then we'll release that left leg. Inhale, reach the arms up. Really good, heart rate should be lifted. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, hop back, we take our vinyasa. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, back to downward dog. Really, really good. Bringing the knees down. Sinking back onto the hips. Forehead is on the mat. Big deep breath through the nose. We're going to bring the arms behind the body so the palms are facing up and the shoulders are relaxed. And then we're going to roll the hips up and our weight onto the top of our head. Feel the shoulders releasing for a moment here. And then we're going to clasp our hands behind the back. Try to straighten our arms if you can and release the hands over the top of the head. As I said, big deep breath through the nose. And then very gently, we'll roll all the way down. Hands underneath shoulders. And we'll come onto our shins and roll the shoulders. And we're going to clasp the hands and just make sure the wrists are nicely warmed up. Maybe making waves with the wrists, whatever feels good for you. Okay. So first of all, we're just going to come into low crow. So we want to practice low crow pose to be able to do this transition. So we will first of all make a cushion with the head in preparation. We're not going to put the head down yet. We're going to come into low crow pose. Just open out the hips for a moment. We already did a bit with tree pose, but just opening out the inside of the hips slightly more. Good. Okay, so then we'll plant the hands and we'll squeeze the knees together. Have the elbows come out slightly wider than normal and the arms, the shoulders and the chest slightly further down. Lift up the heels slightly and we'll just tip forward, coming into our low crow pose. We don't need to worry about bringing the feet together in this one. They're a bit wider apart. How do you feel here? Good, and then gently come back. If you're really struggling bringing the head down, you can bring a cushion down. You don't want to be coming into tripod headstand with your head on the cushion because it will be too unstable, but it would be a good way for you to practice gently bringing your head down and building up the confidence to get there if the floor just seems a little bit far away. So if you're not there yet, you can grab a cushion and just keep practicing that. If you are, we're going to come into our tripod headstand variation with the head on the mat, gently placing it there. Once it is, you can lift the hips up and squeeze the elbows in. Point the toes, maybe even bring the feet together. So we want the hips to be over the shoulders. Focus on the breath. Maybe we can begin to lift one toe up and the knee, maybe the other. And we can come into our full tripod headstand. Focus on the breath. Remember most of the weight in the arms. Good. Don't worry if you're not bringing the legs up. That's okay. If you have brought the legs up, bring the legs down. Try to get them back to that same position. Get ready to really spread the fingers and engage in the hands. And we're going to roll onto the forehead and lift up into our crow pose. Squeeze the elbows together, find height. Come into a higher crow pose now. Focus on the breath, hold for as long as you can to build up that strength, and then we'll release. Really good. So wherever you are on that journey, well done. Spread out the hips, release them a little bit. You want to shake out the hands. There's quite a lot of pressure going on in the hands with that transition. If you do feel pain in your wrist, do give them a break. Don't continue going because it's easy to damage the wrists. We can place the top of the hands on the mat. Gently push down. So we want to make sure that we've got enough strength in our muscles in our hands to support us in these positions so we don't injure ourselves. So if you do feel a bit of pain, perhaps you're going a little bit too fast and you need to just take it a bit slower. So do listen to your body. Good. Now, option to go into that again. Option to come into just a normal high crow pose to practice that. Or option to come into a restorative butterfly pose where we'll bring the hips down and just focus on lengthening and strengthening the inside hips. So we can push down to lengthen. Keep the elbows there, and then imagine you want to push the knees together to strengthen. So we're pushing down, relaxing, and then up, strengthening. So option to do that, option to practice again what we just did, or option to come into normal crow pose. And we'll just do a couple minutes of that. I'm going to come into normal crow pose. We haven't practiced it in a little while, so I can just give you a few more bits of alignment. If you want to do this, otherwise do the other two variations as well. Hips come high. Our knees are at the back of the elbows. And we bring the feet together. We really need to be hugging the elbows in, pointing the toes and drawing the feet up. Focus on the breath. Good. Wherever you are, we're all going to meet in butterfly. We're all going to give a little go to that lengthening and strengthening exercise, holding onto the ankles, gently leaning forward with the hips. We'll push your knees down and lengthen the inside of the thighs. Hold it here. And then engaging the thighs, imagine you want to push into the elbows and draw the knees up, but they don't move. So you're strengthening the inside of the hips. Exhale, push down, lengthening. Inhale, push up on the elbows. Exhale, lengthening. You might find more space as you lengthen with every exhale. Inhale, pushing up. Exhale, lengthening. Move the chest forward towards the toes. Good. Pushing up with the knees on an inhale. Exhale, we lengthen. And inhale, come one more time, pushing up. And then gently we will come up with the chest. Bring the hands behind the body. Bring the left knee all the way up and over onto the right. And we'll look over the left shoulder. And then we'll bring that knee all the way up and over. And the right knee over onto the left. And look over the right shoulder. So it should feel really nice. Release across the side body. Good, and then we'll find stillness. We're going to practice some boat pose. It's a great one for the core, for the hip flexors, which we just practiced, and also for finding that center balance point that we really need for being able to lift our head off into crow and actually stay there and not fall back. So we're going to roll backwards, have the hands behind the thighs, and then land in boat pose. Don't worry if you come too far forward, practice each time, and it will become easier when you work out what that balance point is. If you're finding this pretty easy, bring the hands away and do it without any hands. We need to really squeeze the core and make it really sharp if you can. Take your time rolling back. We can really let the feet go right back over the head. Have a moment here and then propelling ourselves up. Next time we roll forward, we're going to hold. So we're really squeezing in the belly button, lengthening the spine, drawing the shoulders down, maybe even lengthening the legs. We want the toes to be about the level of the eyes. Focus on the breath. Shoulders drawing down the back. Good. One more big inhale. Exhale. One last roll back and hold when we come forward. And then 1, 2 to the side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Feet down. Wrap the arms around the legs. Take a lovely big inhale here. And a big exhale. Let it all sigh out. Draw the chin into the chest and relax. Roll the forehead side to side. Release the hands and very slowly roll all the way down the back. And just take a moment here. Place the hands below the tummy button and relax the shoulders. Breathe into the hands just for a moment. Feel the connection of the lower back and the ground. And walk the feet closer into the body. We'll inhale, peel the hips off the mat. Keep the knees hugging in together so they stay hip width apart. Maybe you can feel a slight release on the core. Squeeze the glutes, lift the hips, and roll down the spine very gently back onto the back. We'll let both knees fall to the right and look over the left shoulder. Maybe the right foot comes on top of the left knee. Good. Place that right foot back down. Inhale, coming up. And exhale over to the left. Look over the right shoulder. And maybe the left foot places onto the outside edge of the right knee. Take a few deep breaths. Good. And then gently coming back to center. We'll come into happy baby to finish. Release out the inside of those hips. They've worked really hard today. Take a few deep breaths as we gently roll side to side. Good, and then we'll release the feet, lengthen the legs out long. Draw the palms up. Roll the ankles. Relax the face. And commit to stillness here for as long as you can or need to. Today, try to be completely mindful of everything that's happening in the body. And with every exhale, feeling the body reach a deeper and deeper state of relaxation. Feeling the ground absorbing any tension, letting it just melt away. Focusing on the breath, in and out through the nose. The rise and fall of your tummy as you breathe. Thank you so much for joining me today.